What if you were told that ancient wisdom traditions identify a certain kind of person whose awareness functions on a level that most people simply don't register? Stay present with me, because the insight we are about to explore may fundamentally shift how you perceive your own inner knowing. Woven through timeless teachings is a profound understanding of a unique group of women. These women embody what could be called a deep, intuitive intelligence, a way of knowing that moves beyond the logic of the everyday mind. It is said that these individuals possess an awareness that connects them directly to the underlying flow of life itself, that silent stream of all human experience and wisdom. But here is the profound insight. A great number of these women are entirely unaware of the true nature of their exceptional gifts. They have been conditioned to see their sensitivity as a fault, their intuition as mere fancy, and their depth as a tendency to overthink. By the end of this journey together, you will understand why these women are considered essential for the compassionate evolution of our world, and why their moment to blossom is right now. If this initial thought resonates with the quiet truth you hold inside, I invite you to join our community on this path of discovery. By subscribing, you become part of a shared space where we explore these profound insights together. Your presence is valued here. And to affirm your inner knowing from the very start, I want you to claim this for yourself. Take a deep breath and type this into the comments below to declare it MYSNZVESMYSTNGH. Make this a conscious anchor for the powerful insights to come. According to these wisdom traditions, there are women among us who act as living conduits between the seen and the unseen. They do not just feel more intensely, they perceive the subtle currents of reality that are invisible to a mind occupied by constant noise. These teachings suggest that these women operate from a space of heart-centered awareness, a quality of consciousness that allows them to sense the inner state of everyone they meet. What I am about to share with you are 6 subtle signals of this profound intelligence. These are not personality traits. They are indicators of a deep spiritual connection. And if you recognize these signals in yourself, then your life experience is about to become much clearer. First, however, consider signal number 4 with care. Its energy is so transformative that it can either guide a woman toward profound inner peace or lead her into a storm of immense personal struggle. Signal 1: resonance with unseen currents. The ancient teachings tell of certain women who have a natural soul sense, the capacity to feel the energetic atmosphere that surrounds every person they encounter. From a space of deep awareness, we find that their nervous systems are simply tuned to subtle frequencies that most minds have learned to ignore. But here the insight deepens. This is not a new development. These women are often souls who have refined this ability over many lifetimes, serving as healers, visionaries, or wise counsel in cultures long past. This wisdom is carried in the very memory of their being. When one of these women enters a room, the very quality of the space can seem to change. This occurs because, as the teachings suggest, they emanate what might be called grounding vibrations, frequencies that silently invite the awareness of everyone present to rise. They become human vessels of stillness, helping others remember their own quiet nature simply by their presence. These women can sense the unspoken stories of others, the deep imprints, the echoes of past experiences, and the quiet purposes that shape a person's path. They feel the silent sorrow beneath a bright smile. They notice the discordance in words that lack truth, and they recognize connections that go far beyond surface-level relationships. But this gift is balanced by a profound challenge, one the old traditions caution us about. Hold this thought, because I will soon share the shadow of this ability, which can create a feeling of separation from the very people they are here to connect with. This energetic sensitivity can often feel overwhelming in crowded places, leading to exhaustion after social events, and a feeling of being a traveler in a foreign land. The wisdom traditions explain this by observing that these souls have chosen to exist with only a thin veil between worlds, making them natural intuitives, but also highly susceptible to energetic disturbances. It is said that many of these women carry the spiritual inheritance of ancient priestesses, souls who acted as oracles, healers, and keepers of wisdom in foundational civilizations. Their spiritual ancestors cultivated this inner radar as a sacred duty, learning to read the soul-level needs of entire communities. Signal 2 insights from the stream of life. Now we arrive at a truly transformative discovery from the great wisdom traditions. It was observed that these spiritually intelligent women maintain open access to what could be called the river of universal knowledge. That timeless flow of all-knowing from the past through the present and into the future. And the way they access this is remarkable. While most people might only touch this river in states of deep meditation or quiet contemplation, these women receive its wisdom through their dreams, their sudden intuitive knowings, and the meaningful patterns of life. As one teaching states, their awareness is not bound by a single dimension. They dream in powerful symbols that later appear in their waking lives. They witness meaningful coincidences with a regularity that defies simple logic, and they receive guidance that proves to be astonishingly true. This happens, it is taught, because their inner being maintains a connection to a vaster consciousness, a state of awareness that isn't confined by linear time or physical reality. But the teachings also offer a caution with this gift. Not every ripple in the river of consciousness is a call for immediate action. Some insights are for later understanding, some are meant to help heal others, and some are simply to prepare the soul for what lies ahead on its path. In a moment, I'll reveal a simple test from these traditions for distinguishing true guidance from the mind's own interference. These traditions suggest that such women serve as translators for life itself, taking the symbolic language of higher awareness and turning it into practical wisdom for our human journey. A dream of a vast ocean becomes guidance for emotional release. A chance meeting with a particular creature becomes a message about inner strength. A repeating sequence of numbers becomes a confirmation of perfect timing. These meaningful events are not random accidents, but communications from the creative intelligence that orchestrates the universe. These women learn to follow these sacred breadcrumbs, allowing them to move through life with a grace that seems almost magical to an outside observer. Signal 3, the sanctuary of stillness. Here we find a truth from the ancient sages that runs contrary to everything our fast-paced culture tells us about living a full life. The most spiritually attuned women require what might be called sacred stillness, not as an escape from the world, but as essential nourishment for their spirit. And what unfolds in these periods of quiet retreat is profound. One teaching suggests that these women's souls are like deep wells that must be allowed to refill, far from the mental and emotional noise of other people. Their time alone is not a state of loneliness. It is a laboratory for the soul's work. According to these timeless traditions, these women intuitively honor the natural rhythm of spiritual life, cycles of quiet retreat followed by cycles of compassionate service. During their solitude, it is said that their consciousness naturally expands, allowing them to receive downloads of insight, healing energy, and creative vision that would be inaccessible amidst the clamor of social life. But here is the part that may surprise you. Their periods of withdrawal are a profound service to the collective. The clarity and peace they cultivate in their stillness becomes a healing balm for everyone they meet afterward. It is as if they are gathering pure water from a mountain spring to share with a thirsty world. The teachings explain that when these women withdraw, they are not abandoning their purpose. They are deepening their connection to it. Their solitude becomes a living meditation, a communion with the very source of life that refines their capacity to be of service. The sages have long understood something our busy world has forgotten. The most meaningful transformations arise from the silence within. Attempting to maintain constant external engagement can deplete these women's spiritual wellsprings and cloud their intuitive clarity. They are advised to honor their energetic needs without guilt, knowing that their depth requires a regular return to the inner temple. Signal 4. The alchemy of suffering. We now arrive at the signal that the ancient masters taught could either forge or shatter a spiritually gifted woman. It is the path of the sacred wound. And the way these women are able to transform hardship will either fill you with hope or deep reverence, depending on where you find yourself on your own journey of healing. Ancient wisdom reveals that spiritually intelligent women do not merely bear their pain, they alchemize it into wisdom. This is the art of soul transmutation. These women courageously journey into their own inner shadows, facing the very parts of themselves that others spend lifetimes trying to avoid. From these depths, they return with treasures that can only be found in the heart of personal challenge. According to the old teachings, this journey mirrors the initiation rites of ancient mystery schools, where one had to face their own darkness to claim their inner light. But the sages warn that this path demands immense courage and a deep trust in a higher guidance. Without a strong spiritual anchor, these depths can consume rather than transform. There is an old saying that chills the soul with its truth. The one who has walked through great fire and transformed that fire into compassion holds the keys to a healing that no book can teach. But this power, the sages warn, comes with a profound responsibility. The teachings explain that these women's personal pain becomes their very qualification for guiding others. Their suffering is refined into a certificate, qualifying them to be a steady light for souls navigating similar paths. But this alchemical process only succeeds when a woman learns to hold life's opposites in a sacred balance, embracing both her light and her shadow, her joy and her grief, her strength and her vulnerability. According to this wisdom, these women discover that true healing is not the erasure of our wounds, but the transformation of our wounds into sources of wisdom. Their scars become sacred maps, guiding first their own souls and then, eventually, others who seek a similar transformation. Their integrated wholeness becomes a beacon for a world struggling with its own fragmentation. But the ancient masters made one vital distinction that determines if this journey leads to liberation or to deeper struggle. Stay with me, because this may be the most crucial insight you receive today. This alchemical process can only succeed when a woman learns to feel everything completely, without resistance, while maintaining a connection to her unshakable inner witness. She must avoid the trap of what is called spiritual bypassing, the temptation to skip over genuine healing with premature positivity or hollow forgiveness. True transformation, the sages teach, demands that we sit with the entirety of our darkness before we can authentically claim our light. Signal 5. Healing through being. The great wisdom traditions observed that these spiritually aware women master the art of healing through being, the ability to communicate through the quality of their presence, far more than the quantity of their words. A powerful teaching explains that their consciousness itself can act as a healing frequency, one that silently invites others to resonate with a higher vibration. Here is what the ancient healers understood. These women don't primarily heal with methods or techniques. They heal with their presence. Their very existence serves as living proof that profound transformation is possible. But the way this healing works is both subtle and powerful. According to this ancient perspective, when these women enter a space where there is suffering, their own centered calm carries a vibration of unconditional acceptance, a frequency that gently reminds others of their own divine essence. They do not need to tell their story or offer solutions. Their very being stands as evidence that healing is a real possibility. As one wise teacher put it, these women have learned that stillness can be more eloquent than speech, that presence can be more healing than a prescription, and that the deepest service we can offer is to simply witness another's journey without any need to fix, change, or improve it. But the traditions discovered something about their way of communicating that explains why people feel an immediate sense of ease in their company, even after a brief interaction. The secret is in how they have learned to tend to their own inner garden. According to this wisdom, these women have mastered the art of what might be called spiritual sustainability, the mindful stewardship of their own inner resources. They understand that their sensitivity demands conscious boundaries about where and how they offer their attention. This allows them to be truly and deeply present when they do offer their energy, because they have learned when to open and when to close, when to give and when to rest. They become, as one sage described, like tuning forks for a higher harmony, helping others remember their own capacity for peace, clarity, and wholeness through a process of quiet resonance, not conscious effort. Their cultivated presence creates a kind of sacred healing space that naturally elevates all who enter their field of awareness. Signal 6. Flowing with the river of life. The final signal that the ancient sages observed will help you understand why some women seem to live in a world where meaningful coincidences gather around them, like leaves caught in a gentle whirlwind. But the reason this happens will shift how you view your entire life's journey. It is said that these spiritually attuned women do not chase mystical experiences. They attract them through a state of being known as soul resonance. Their consciousness acts like a quiet beacon for the sacred, naturally drawing to them the people, situations, and insights that are perfectly aligned with their soul's growth and their service to the world's awakening. According to these teachings, this happens because these women have cultivated what is called cosmic harmony, a state where their personal will flows in perfect accord with the will of the universe. What others struggle and strive for, they receive as natural blessings, because their desires have been purified to align with a universal purpose. But the ancient masters provided a crucial distinction to separate true, meaningful synchronicity from simple wishful thinking. This test has saved countless souls from self-deception, and it is vital to understand. The sages discovered that authentic synchronicities always serve both our personal evolution and the greater good of all. They never inflate the ego or serve material greed. True guidance from the universe, they taught, always elevates our consciousness while expanding our capacity for love. Any synchronicity that deepens a sense of separation, fear, or selfishness arises from the mind's own projections, not from a divine source. According to this wisdom, these women's lives become a living tapestry of meaningful coincidence because they have learned to surrender their personal timetables to a divine timing. Their entire being becomes like an antenna tuned to the frequency of meaning and purpose, automatically drawing in experiences that align with their soul's true mission. A wise teacher once said of these women something that still creates a profound stillness within me. They become unintentional catalysts for change, sparking awakenings in others just by living their truth. But this role carries a responsibility that every spiritually aware woman must understand. The masters warned that this catalytic effect happens on its own and cannot be controlled. These women will often trigger deep shifts in others even when they are simply trying to be quiet. Their very presence challenges others to question their own assumptions, examine their own motives, and consider possibilities beyond the narrow confines of conventional thought. Here is the paradox the sages observed that explains why the most spiritually intelligent women often seem the most ordinary. The evolution they described is a transformation that most people fail to see. The ancient teachings found that as these women truly ripen into their gifts, they experience a return to simplicity, but at a higher level of awareness. The more spiritually attuned they become, the more beautifully ordinary they appear. The extraordinary becomes so integrated into their being that it loses all sense of drama. According to this wisdom, these women cease to feel special for having these qualities and begin to see them simply as tools for service, not as badges of identity. They learn to carry their immense wisdom with a light touch, sharing their insights without the weight of spiritual ego. This humility, the sages taught, is the key to maintaining a clear and open channel to divine guidance. But these masters also revealed the ultimate purpose behind these women's gifts, a sacred mission that is now reaching a point of critical importance for humanity. What they foresaw about their role in our present time will give you a sense of profound purpose. The ancient seers predicted that during a period of great global transition, these spiritually intelligent women would act as guides and lighthouses for souls feeling lost in a world of distraction and fear. Their invisible influence would work through love, not through force, through inspiration, not through control, through quiet example, not loud instruction. According to this wisdom, these women would become living prayers, walking meditations, embodied reminders that it is possible to live with depth, integrity, and grace in a world that often celebrates the superficial, the performative, and the aggressive. Their presence would serve as living proof that another way of being is not just possible, but is essential for the continued journey of humanity. If you have felt a deep resonance with these signals, the timeless traditions hold a specific message for you, one that, when truly heard, could change how you understand your entire purpose for being on this earth. It is said that women who embody these qualities are not here by chance. They are part of a soul family of compassionate servers, beings who chose to be present during this pivotal moment in human history to assist in the great awakening of the planet. Your sensitivity is not a defect, but a divinely calibrated instrument. Your need for solitude is not a weakness, but a doorway to wisdom. Your ability to alchemize pain is not a common skill, but an invaluable gift. According to these teachings, your deep, invisible intelligence is not a figment of your imagination. It is profoundly real and desperately needed. The world needs your medicine now more than at any time in recent history. It needs your ability to see beyond illusions, to love without conditions, to heal through your presence, and to stand as a bridge between the material and spiritual worlds. The sages made one final prediction about these women that explains why so many are coming to recognize their gifts at this very moment. The timing, they said, is no accident. The ancient traditions foresaw that as humanity moved toward a new level of consciousness, these women would begin to find each other and recognize their shared mission. They would stop hiding their gifts and begin to stand in their quiet, spiritual authority. They would understand that their time of inner preparation is complete. The world now needs them to step forward as the healers, teachers, and guides they came here to be. The path of the spiritually intelligent woman is not always a simple one, but it is always one of deep meaning. It requires the courage to trust what others cannot perceive, the faith to follow guidance that may not seem logical, and the strength to remain true to yourself in a world that often rewards conformity. Every soul who connects with this message is receiving a cosmic invitation, a gentle reminder of why they chose to be here in these transformative times. Your journey as a spiritually intelligent woman continues with every breath, every choice, and every moment of peaceful presence you offer to a world in profound need of the medicine you carry within you. The invisible signals that define who you are were never accidents. They are assignments from the very creative forces that the great sages served throughout their lives. Trust the wisdom that flows through you. Honor the sensitivity that makes you unique. Embrace the solitude that renews you. Transform the pain that teaches you. Communicate through the silence that speaks volumes. And attract the sacred encounters that serve your highest evolution and the world's deepest need. According to the final teachings on this subject, the women who carry these gifts are the quiet hope of the world, the bridges between an old paradigm of separation and a new paradigm of unity and love. Your time is now. Your gifts are needed. Your mission is sacred. If these insights into a deeper way of being have touched your soul, I invite you to commit to your path of growth. Subscribe to this channel so that together we can continue to walk this journey of remembering. There are so many more layers of your divine nature waiting to be uncovered, more universal truths waiting to be embraced, and more souls like you ready to recognize the profound intelligence they carry. The conversation that began with the ancient masters continues through you. The healing they spoke of spreads through every woman brave enough to claim her place in this timeless lineage of spiritual knowing. Your awakening is a gift to humanity. Your healing is a gift to the world. Your time to shine your quiet, steady light is now. Thank you for holding this space with me through our exploration. If you found a moment of peace or clarity in our time together, please subscribe to the channel and consider sharing this video with someone who might also find comfort in its message. Every small act of sharing helps this work reach those who need it.